He played a great match. He missed a couple of little cutbacks sort of mid-match, missed them both thick, and maybe that's just a lack of that big match experience on centre stage against someone like Ronnie. But you just need to leave the door ajar slightly for Ronnie in this kind of form. The form he's been in the last 3-4 years, and he storms his way through. And he finished the match in style. He really did play good towards the end.
How great a pressure test was that for O'Sullivan today?
Well, it was, but he's used to it. He's out there in the main table every match, pretty much he plays. But what was impressive about it is the fact that Ken really put it to him today and put him under pressure. 4-1 in front, Ken, looking good as well, doing it. So to come through that, Ronnie will be very happy, I think. Sometimes he can knock in 3-4 tons and he'll come off and he'll say, I wasn't all this, I wasn't all that. It wasn't fireworks today, but it was hard graft, and he played real good stuff when he had to.
And you could see from the little fist pump, just as he got across the line there, he really felt that sense of satisfaction, didn't he?
Yes, and it was nice, a little embrace by the two boys at the end there, because Ronnie knows how good a player Ken is. I know I do. And he appreciates how Ken would have come out and performed early on today, and I'm sure Ronnie would have probably said, listen, that was all right today, you know, so we'll hear from him soon, I guess.
Well, indeed, he's actually just coming in just now. I wonder if he's actually enjoyed that chance. Let's find out. Here he comes. Well done, Mr. Defending Champion. Congratulations. Well done, Ronnie. Well done. We're just wondering how much you kind of enjoyed the challenge of that today, Ronnie, because he really put it to you, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, you know, and Ken played fantastically well in the first part, you know, to go 4-1 up, and he was a little bit, I got the luck turned a bit, you know, and I got a couple of nudges and it kind of got me into the game, but I didn't really do a lot wrong apart from, you know, just missed one ball in each frame, and he kind of punished me, but he looked really relaxed. It was the way he done it. If he'd have fudged away, you'd have think, OK, it's all right, but he played so quick and positive, like he was playing an exhibition, so kind of puts you a bit on your edge because you think he don't care. He don't care if he wins or lose.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we were noticing his strike rate in terms of shot times was much quicker than yours at one point in the early part of that match.
I was grinding. I was Cliff Fulburn in reincarnated today. Well, he's not dead.
It was at the end of the second frame, or going into the third frame, he was flying, wouldn't he? You think?
Yeah, no, listen. He played very well. You know, I have to give credit where it was due. And if I'd have lost today, I'd have lost as a better player. But fortunate enough for me, I was able to dig deep in the boots and try and find something. Sometimes you have to win when you're maybe not at your best, or you're not, you know, things are just not clicking for you. I felt very nervous because I'm kind of excited about playing again. I've got a bit of a love back for it. So the worst thing is when you're excited about playing, you get knocked out of the tournament, you've got to go home and watch it. You know, when I'm playing rubbish, I get beat, I think, oh, thank God for that, you know. It's kind of like, you know, so it's just managing the emotions for me. So back to, you know, just trying to just keep it calm if I can, you know.
Yeah, and actually Steve Davis made a good point in commentary, and that sometimes you get in a match where you've been asked a lot of questions, and I wonder how much satisfaction you derive from the effort of getting there in the end.
Well, that's why I like to play, because, you know, it's matches like that, and quite a few matches that you kind of, you become like a different person, you know. You feel like a bit like a gladiator, and sometimes that's you know, money can't buy that. You know, tournaments can't buy that, but, you know, imposing yourself on a game and making something happen is as near to being a gladiator as I've ever felt. So, you know, that's why I keep coming back, because of that feeling. And, you know, as long as I can still keep competing and getting that feeling, then, you know, that's why we play this game, you know.
And it's great to hear you talk about this, Ronnie, because there's a lot on the line here this week. I know you're not a great, well, you never really set yourself targets, but this is a big target, possibly a 7th, a record ownership of this UK crown, and maybe even a 19th major title. These are big things in this sport. In any sport, to be honest.
I get maybe from everybody else's perspective, but when you're actually doing it, you kind of just, it doesn't really mean that much. You know, it's something you've done all your life. It's like an SAS is trained to do his job, and they don't get too excited about it. I wish I could share the excitement with you, but it's just something that when you're in it, you're just doing a job. So one day when I hang my cue up, I can sit back and talk to you about all that stuff and probably really appreciate it. But at the moment, you know, you don't really sort of. I'm not thinking about breaking records. I'm thinking about maximising everything I can do all the time. So, you know, where it goes, I don't know. When it ends, I don't know. But all I can say is that I'll be trying my hardest to just keep trying to improve in every area, you know.
And, you know, you do seem to have a system that's working for you. It's the quality rather than quantity in terms of events. We were just looking at it. You know, 4 events already this season. This is your 5th. 2 wins, a runner-up and a semi-final, you know.
It's high risk. It's all risk. But I decided that, you know, it's more important to be happy and play a schedule that I feel that is the right schedule for anybody, you know. Not going from one tournament to the next. I believe as a professional it's about preparation sometimes, and it's not always about practice, it's just about regrouping. And if you're going from one tournament to the other, especially if you're winning, you don't get that chance. You know, if you're losing first round, second round, you get 9 days off between the tournaments. So sometimes it's a blessing to lose, which is a shame really, because you want to believe that you can win every tournament you're playing. But you know, it is what it is, and I just play for the fans now. I play just because they've supported me so well, and it's just about giving back and enjoying the game.
It's interesting what Ronnie's saying about when you're out there and money can't buy it. That's exactly what it is, isn't it? You can't. It's a feeling, and you can't really describe it.
Yeah. When you're, you know, I mean, you know, it's hard out there today, but even still, you know, when you have to dig in the trenches, sometimes they're more satisfying. Yeah, don't get me wrong. When I played at 2012 and 13 World Championships and the Masters, and you know, and all the tournaments that I played unbelievably well in, they're the ultimate buzz. But you know, there's still, you know, as a professional, you know that you can't always perform like that. It might happen later on in the week, but you still have to be in it to have the chance, you know. And
I have to say, you are giving yourself every chance these days. Well, in terms of your preparation, you talk about preparation, it's not just in terms of practice, Ronnie, but it's looking after yourself, keep yourself fit. And I know that it wouldn't be Christmas without a new O'Sullivan book coming out, and you got the diets, and you've got the recipes, and you're working with a pretty well-renowned nutritionist at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I have been for the last 18 months, but I've always prided myself on no matter what I do, if I took up running, cooking, I want to be the best that I can be. And it's no different in snooker, and it's no different in how you feel, you know, and just everything, you know. So it's just getting, you know, I've always been, you know, one that wants to perform at optimum level all the time, not now and again. You know, I like to just, you know, I think there's a science to everything. You know, I don't believe in coincidence, I don't believe in luck. I believe in science, and I believe in if you get it right, there's a system. And if you can keep performing to a system and keep tweaking it, you know, because you can never stop learning, then, you know, who knows what's achievable, you know.
Okay, well, great to see you today. That was fantastic entertainment from both you and indeed from Ken. Well, we enjoy watching it, I have to say, and I'm sure that it'll be interesting to hear Ken's reflections on it as well. He's with Rob Walker right now.
Ken, that was an incredible match, and for much of it, it looked like you were going to pull off something you haven't done for a long, long time. Yeah,
it was. It was a great match to be involved in. You know, I started off pretty good, and when I went 4-1 up, you know, I was feeling great, to be honest. I mean, even at the end, you know, it was just a great atmosphere, and like I had a couple of chances, a couple of reds that I missed when I was 4-1 up and 4-2 up, and that was probably the difference in the match. But he came back very, very strong, as you would expect, and you know, he played some great stuff in the end there.
You had the right attitude going into the match. You made some interesting comments with Alan in the dressing room beforehand that, listen, I've got nothing to lose. I've been there, done it, and I've won the biggest events of all. It looked as though you came out with the right attitude, and you played in quite a relaxed manner. Were you surprised that you raced out to a 4-1 lead?
Well, you know, I just wanted to go out and enjoy it and not to put too much pressure on myself. I suppose, you know, everybody's expecting Ronnie to win. I just wanted to go out and try and be as competitive as possible, and you know, I couldn't believe how relaxed I was. I thought I'd be sort of a little bit nervous, but I wasn't at all. I was loving the atmosphere. I was loving the chance to sort of challenge myself and challenge Ronnie, you know, on the big stage, and just came up a little bit short. But it's still, hopefully, I can play like this for the rest of the season, and it will give me a bit of confidence going forward.
Well, you did yourself real justice there, especially having been pegged back all the way from 4-1 up to force it at least to a decider. Certainly got the butterflies flirting around with the crowd. You know, you really dug in towards the end. Yeah,
I mean, you know, it was nice to, you know, to force a decider after losing 4 in a row. But I had sort of half a chance in the beginning of that frame when Ronnie was like 24, 30 points ahead, and I potted the blues, tried to go into the pack, just didn't come on anything. I was just a little bit unlucky, and they're the times when you need a little bit of luck to open up and try and run to the line, but it just didn't happen, and Ronnie made a really good break in the end. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and disappointing to lose, but Ronnie said that I had him there, and I had him I really did, and I felt really good, but it wasn't to be.
You've reminded us all, you can still play a bit.
Yeah, a little bit, now and again.
Unlucky, Ken. We'll look forward to hearing your dulcet tones later in the week. Thanks.
Rob, thank you.